begins for the national championship.
College Sports Television presents the 67th annual Buffalo Funds NAIA Division I National Championship Tournament. Welcome to Kansas City, everyone, and tonight's national championship game. We are at historic Municipal Auditorium in Kansas City, the site of more championship college basketball games than any venue in college basketball. And hi, everybody. Neil Harwell with you here on College Sports Television. It's nice to have you with us here in Kansas City. Tonight it's our title game, a rematch from last season's title game between Concordia, California and Mountain State, West Virginia. These two teams got here by winning in the semifinals as Mountain State beat Georgetown last night and Concordia got past Mobile from Alabama. And that sets up our rematch, as we said. Only the second time in history here in the NAIA tournament where two teams will meet again in the title game after doing it a season ago. And for more on the players in this one that will participate here tonight, let's go into my broadcast partner, Paul Splittorff. Split.
Hey, thanks, Neil. The players are getting ready. We're just moments away from the tip-off. If you like high-scoring basketball, this is the game you want to watch. Mountain State averages 96 points per ball game. Concordia averages in the mid-80s. So light up the scoreboard. We're ready to roll. Let's take a look at a couple of the key players that we're going to see here tonight. First of all, for Mountain State, Zach Moss does everything for the Cougars. He leads them at scoring at better than 23 points per game. Also leads them in boards at better than 9 rebounds per game. How about 50 blocks and 50 steals on the season? He'll need to play large here tonight. And for Concordia, they've got a powerful game inside, but they've got a strong point guard as well, and Chris Victor, senior from San Bruno, does it all. High scoring, good ball handler, he's experienced, he's poised. He'll need to spread the basketball around here tonight.
The toughest tournament in the country to win. Coming up next, Adam Zucker previews CSTV's Week of Hoops.
CSTV Fieldhouse in New York. Adam Zucker here to remind you that there's more national championship coverage coming your way on CSTV all week long. Full Court Press returns Thursday at 3 Eastern to get you ready for the Final Four. And on Friday, our live coverage from San Antonio kicks into high gear to keep you up to speed throughout the championship weekend. Your favorite CSTV shows like Primetime and Scoreboard live from San Antonio starting Friday. But now it's time to get you back to Kansas City for the start of the NAIA Division I Men's Basketball Championship on CSTV, #1 in college sports.
Welcome back to Kansas City, everyone. Municipal Auditorium, the NAIA Division I National Championship game. There is Ken Ammon in his third season. He took over a 13-18 program, and here they are as national champions last season, back in the title game, 33-4. And we take a look at our starting lineups in this ball game tonight. Plenty of All-Americans on the floor in this one. The top two, Nick Vanderlaan. He's 6'10", and he is a first-team All-American for Concordia. And for Mountain State, their do-everything guy, Zach Moss. 6'7", he is a player. In fact, player of the year in the NAIA, and he's a first-team All-American. And for Mountain State, Bob Bolin in his 10th season. He started this program here at Mountain State when it used to be called College of West Virginia. And what a run he has had. Over the last 6 seasons, he has been named the Independent Coach of the Year. And he is back in the title game after suffering a heart-breaking overtime loss last season to this very Concordia team, Split. And I gotta bet these Mountain State folks are ready to get at Concordia for the rematch here tonight. They kind of did have a rematch early in the season on a neutral floor in California.
Well, that was early in the season. That was in mid-November, and Mountain State was able to win that ball game 97-85, a high-scoring affair in that one. But again, early in the year, you can be sure that these teams have changed over the last 3 months.
Again, we always talk about this being the toughest tournament to win in the country. You have to win 5 games in the span of a week to be called national champion in this tournament. And it's been played. This is the 67th season for the NAIA National Championship Tournament. Back where it belongs here in Kansas City. And Coach Ammon trying to defend the national title here. Coach of the Year in 2003. And this is a guy, both these coaches, great players when they played. Coach Ammon played at Stanford University for Coach Mike Montgomery there, and they won the NIT title in his playing days.
And Neil, you take a look at these two basketball teams, clearly well coached. Their parts all seem to fit. They have ball handlers out front. They have shooters from the perimeter, power game going inside. Both teams play solid man-to-man defense. Very sound fundamentally, both offensively and defensively. Both teams very well coached.
And of course, Bob Bolin, we talked about his run as an independent coach for the last 10 seasons there, and he's been Coach of the Year 6 seasons. As you look at Ken Ammon right there, and there is Bob Bolin. He played at Bluefield State College, where he averaged 15 points a game, 7 assists, and he's a 90% free throw shooter in college. And some of the players for Mountain State said, you know, when Coach comes out and wants to shoot around a little bit, we can't get the ball back from him.
Well, they shoot
one after the other.
They shoot 64% from the free throw line, so he may still want to challenge his guy. As a player, you want to play in big ball games with a lot on the line. No more on the line than what these guys have here tonight, the national title.
And the 2 first-team All-Americans, Vanderlaan and Moss, go up in the center circle. We're ready to play here in the national title game.
Going to have a real treat with our point guard play here tonight. That's Adrian Jackson. Great assist to turnover ratio working against Chris Victor.
And how about the fact that he hardly ever shoots, and he went right for the first shot of the game. He's an assist guy. That one's stolen by Vanderlaan. And quickly up the floor, they work it. Down low on the block, Luster could not get it to go, and rebound Mountain State.
Talk about defense, Neil. Post defense is going to be huge here tonight because Mountain State is terrific at getting the ball into number 2's hands, Zach Moss. Did it that last time, but taken away by the away inside by Vanderlaan.
And Gilliard, a 44% free throw shooter coming into this tournament, buries the first 3 ball of the night. And it's Mountain State up by 3.
And Gilliard is a catch-and-shoot player, a lefty, unlimited range for him. Good to get off to a good start from long range. That will loosen things up inside.
They work the perimeter. Here's Jeremy Groth, another great shooter in this ball game, playing for Concordia. Beeler on the wing, out high to Victor.
Teams had problems with turnovers in yesterday's ball game. Concordia turned it over 23 times in their game against Mobile. 26 turnovers in the game against Georgetown for Mountain State. There's another turnover there.
Had a couple already. And Mountain State the other way, leading 3-0, and another turnover.
Both teams figure to be a little bit anxious at the start of this ball game. While they've been here and played several ball games already on this floor and got comfortable in their surroundings here in Kansas City, with so much riding on this ball game, not unusual to see teams a little bit tight at the start.
And Split, what about your legs? 5th game in 6 nights? This is tough.
Well, it's a young man's game, and we got a lot of good young men out here playing it tonight.
Down low, they work at Luster. Now from outside, Victor. A little bit short that time. Rebound battle for Vanderlaan, and it's spanked out of there by Moss.
Moss is terrific as a shot blocker when he's on the weak side of the floor. His shot blocking ability is not on one-on-one defense, and help defense. That's where it comes from.
And Moss cleans up the garbage inside, and Mountain State with the first 5 points in this one.
We talked about the turnover numbers from yesterday's ball game. The rebound numbers are impressive as well. Mountain State out-rebounded their opponent yesterday by 25 boards, and Concordia did even better than that. They out-rebounded their opponent by 30 boards. So rebounding will be key here tonight.
From outside, Victor again, and this time he buries the 3.
Both teams having a hard time getting the ball inside. They have prepared well defending the paint. The only shots available have been from the perimeter.
Boy, Split Victor had a great title game a season ago, 26 points. Time after time, he hit the big shot to bring Concordia back from a 10-point deficit in the second half. Moss got it from Jackson, and the rebound to Vanderlaan, who's averaging 15 rebounds a game in this tournament.
Vanderlaan, 19 rebounds in their ball game yesterday.
Victor again from outside, not this time. Luster the rebound.
Strong play inside for Concordia. Luster's in there at 6'6" and about 240 pounds. Vanderlaan in there at 6'10". He's about 260 pounds. So Mountain State quicker in the paint. Concordia a lot stronger.
And definitely Concordia been hitting the gym. There is no question about that. And inside, Vanderlaan scores it.
Solid low post position. Vanderlaan along with Luster both know how to play the low blocks. They run a lot of high-low. Both of them terrific passers. Score.
Corte Hall out high, gives it off to Jackson. This is a guy averaging 10 assists a game. Jackson nearly had a triple-double in round 2.
Good help defense that time by Concordia. I don't think one player is going to be able to step up and stop Zach Moss. It'll take double and even triple teams here tonight.
Victor on the wing as they work against the man-to-man defense. Vanderlaan trying to shape up inside. Beeler takes on the team inside and gets his own loose ball. Back out high, Vanderlaan.
He will take that shot. He's a big kid that can step out on the floor a little bit. We saw him take a shot here last night just inside the three-point line.
Shot clock now at 5. They go down low to Luster, who powers it up, and the rebound taken away by Concordia.
That is the shot that's the shot that Concordia wants to get with Luster. A low blocks player. He doesn't step out as much as the other big player, Vanderlaan.
And Glade out high with it, handling for Mountain State. We've got a foul out high going against Luster.
Officiating will be important in tonight's ball game. The more physical it becomes, the more it would favor Concordia.
And we've got timeout on the floor. 15:32 left here in the first half. We're all tied at 5. You're watching CSTV. At 5 here at Municipal Auditorium in Kansas City of our NAIA Division I National Championship game. Zach Moss, Player of the Year in the NAIA, has 2 points already here tonight. There he is on the wing, giving it off to his high school teammate, Adrian Jackson. They played in Pompano Beach, Florida. Jackson from outside, little short. Rebound battle for Moss is in there, but it's Vanderlaan that controls.
And neither team shooting well here early on this evening, Neil. Concordia 2 of 7. Mountain State now 2 of 6, so both teams a little tight coming into play here this evening.
Officials for tonight's game, Frank Spencer, Kelly Groom, and Kip Kissinger.
And they have been active in this tournament the last several days. Have worked games for both of these teams, so they should be ready for anything here tonight.
Vanderlaan inside off the glass, too strong. Luster is there, and he put it in the crack, but he's fouled down low. And this foul.
How about the position of Concordia inside? Vanderlaan working one side. That's where they want him to get his shots in close. And look at Luster working the other side of the basket, right next to the basket. They have the inside shooting position and the inside rebounding position. And Vanderlaan get to the free throw line a lot.
That's how they've done it all tournament long. Luster, a 68% free throw shooter coming into the tournament, misses the first. He's all conference. He's also a member of the 1,000-point club here at Concordia, and he gets the second one to go.
Luster last night had 14 rebounds, 8 of those. Better than half of them were on the offensive end.
Well, in the title game last season, he got out of hand for 26 rebounds in the championship game. Gilliard for 3.
Can be the great equalizer. They run sets for him. He's a catch-and-shoot guy. If he gets an opportunity to set his feet, he is lethal.
He's done it twice already, has 6 points in the game. It's a 2-point lead for the Cougars of Mountain State. Vanderlaan off to Gross from outside. And Gilliard just lets it fall out of bounds, and Mountain State will have it with that 2-point lead.
Mountain State doing a good job of double teaming when that ball goes in on the low blocks. The double team is coming from the weak side guard position. The time is Adrian Jackson down there 6 feet trying to take away the drive into the paint.
On the wing, Hall. They work it around the perimeter. We have a whistle and a foul inside. It's going against Concordia. And this foul will go against Nick Vanderlaan, the 6'10 senior from Sacramento.
Different style players working inside. You see Moss along the baseline right there. The pick down low. Concordia just going right over the top of it.
Gilliard off the inbound. That one rings out. Vanderlaan the rebound.
And defensively against Gilliard, you need to make him rush his shot. Shoot it in a hurry. That time the fall-away shot from deep in the corner.
There goes Victor in a hurry. Leaves it outside for Hull, who misses the 3. And Adrian Jackson comes away with the rebound and pushes it up the floor.
Mountain State would like to get out and run. Concordia likes the half-court game better.
And timeout called by Adrian Jackson as he went to the floor to get his own loose ball.
Timeout, Mountain State, 30-second timeout.
Wall-to-wall press conferences from around the country keep you up to date on all NCAA tournament action. Hear the latest news from coaches and players as they battle it out for college basketball's ultimate prize. Full court press Friday at 2 Eastern, and 32 days of madness, 64 hours a day continue here on college sports television.
That might be just enough.
Hey, I'm liking all that.
You could make a case for March being the best month of the year.
Well, you know, the NAIA just goes ahead and gets its tournament over in a week. It seems like the NCAA tournament got started about 5 weeks ago. I know it's only a couple, but Final Four is set and ready to go in San Antonio.
Both teams solid defensively, Neil. See how they're doing a good job of pressing the ball out on the perimeter, but still at the same time taking away the drive. Mountain State very quick on the drive. They like to get it into the middle, a little guard weave, try to drive it into the paint.
From outside, Jackson, and that's a rare 3-ball.
He doesn't take many shots. He looks to pass first, but again, that dribble drive and the pass into the paint has been taken away by a solid Concordia defense. Jackson showing that he has the ability to step out and bury the 3.
And Mountain State leads it by 5 with about 13 minutes to go here in the first half. Vanderlaan inside the pump fake and got it capped from behind by Anglade.
And you see the quickness off the floor by Anglade. He's in there just 6'6".
And dinner is served by Adrian Jackson, who has 5, this time in transition.
If Mountain State can get out and run the floor like that, they've got a great chance of winning this ballgame. Concordia mentioned earlier, they like the half-court game. Half-court set, they're very strong running their offense.
Get it down low. Vanderlaan, all she wrote with the hoop, his second of the ball game.
There's that matchup of Luster working against Vanderlaan. They can switch it either way. One guy on the low blocks. They like to work the high-low.
Down low, Zach Moss, and he has his second hoop tonight. And end-to-end we go. As we mentioned, this Mountain State team averages 96 a game.
Zach Moss is in there at 6'7". He is long and a terrific jumper. They're not going to be able to slow him down with one-on-one defensive work.
Luster draws the double team. Back to Victor for 3.
Most of his shots are three-point attempts. Likes to take the long-range shot, but he would just as soon pound it inside early. Again, Mountain State doing a good job of trying to deny that entry pass inside.
And Chris Victor, the 6-foot senior, picks off where he left off last season in the title game with those 26 points. He has 2 threes early on. Zach Moss right to the rack against Vanderlaan, but he got a piece.
Vanderlaan not as quick as Moss, but solid defensive position. Did a good job of keeping his hands straight up in the air, get the block, avoid the contact. Great defense, Vanderlaan.
Foul out front on Jackson. We have time out on the floor with 11:36 left to go here in the first half. Chris Victor heating up here in the auditorium. Welcome back to the NAIA Division I title game here at Municipal Auditorium in Kansas City. Thursday at 10, CSTV Spikes returns with a West Coast showdown as UC Irvine and Pepperdine take to the court. Pepperdine is led by All-Americans Sean Rooney and Fred Winters, while UC Irvine counters with one of their own in Jimmy Pelzel. CSTV Spikes Thursday at 10. And an offensive foul on Concordia. It's going to be on Torin Beeler.
Beeler, check out his move to the basket, just lowering his shoulder and bowling over the defender, Gilliard. Offensive initiative there, a little bit too aggressive, the whistle blown.
Beeler's a rugged guy, 6'5" junior. He will take the action at the defense time and time again.
Concordia was hurt by offensive fouls late in the ballgame in the championship game last year.
Victor comes away with a loose ball for Concordia from Irvine, California.
First 4 minutes of the ball game, teams turned it over quite a bit, didn't shoot it well. Over the next 5 minutes, they took a little better care of the basketball, started shooting better as well.
Mountain State is from Beckley, West Virginia. From outside, Hall buries a 3 right in front of the Mountain State defense.
You take a look at his numbers, 40%. Three-point shooter on the season. Very good range, about 2/3 of his shots are three-point efforts. So he's a guy that likes to hang out on that perimeter line.
Hull first 3 tonight.
Matchup inside is going to be Luster working against Zach Moss. Luster taking the high side, number 42 there, trying to deny the entry pass to the high-scoring Moss.
Traveling on Anthony Walker, the 6'2" junior from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
2 consecutive turnovers now for Mountain State. They didn't get shots off either last 2 times down. Giving Concordia a chance to draw within a point, maybe take the lead right here.
And Mountain State now 6 turnovers in the basketball game. Out high Beeler. Off to Chris Victor.
Both teams have gone to their bench last night. Mountain State got 24 points off of their bench, just 3 points off of the Concordia bench. DJ
Lucas with an extra step. There he is, the 6'6" senior. And up off the bench into the ball game for Concordia comes Brian McFadden. You see that wrap on his elbow. extended the left elbow last night in the semifinal game. He's a freshman, 6 feet, from Lakewood, California.
Did a nice job of handling the ball here last night, did McFadden. Not as quick as the other point guards on the floor for either team. So Concordia sacrifices a little quickness outside, but he is a solid defender. Plays good position.
Out high working with it right now. Eddie Starks, 6'1" junior from Harlem, New York. Backs out, deals it off to Terzic from outside, and that's the #1 three-point shooter in the country at 53%.
Out of Bosnia, and at 6'8", still able to step out on the floor, not just into the high key area, out behind that three-point line. And it's in there to rebound and shoot the long shot.
And it's not like he hasn't taken a few threes this year. Look, he came into the tournament, he had shot 161 threes on the season, 53% of those going down.
And he just got a block right there on the drive inside by Grote.
Lead is 4 for Mountain State. Hesitation, dribble, Starks loses the handle and tracks it down.
Good defensive stand right there by McFadden. Said he wasn't all that quick, but he knows how to play the position game. He'll back off against a quicker player.
Both teams playing a rugged man-to-man. Starks trying to find a seam, and he drops it off to Terzic.
Well, they're very good at passing the ball inside. It's usually to Zach Moss, but it was to Terzic that time. Mountain State very good on the dribble drive, get it inside and pass.
And Terzic draws the foul after he took an elbow right to the chops. The 6'8", 195 sophomore.
Jay Lucas working hard in on the low blocks.
Back into the ball game, Chris Victor replacing McFadden, who spelled him briefly. Also back in there is Vanderlaan. He replaces Tanner Luster. And there is Adrian Jackson, the floor general for this Mountain State team, the transfer from Broward County Community College, 6' junior.
Things even out a lot when either Luster or Vanderlaan leave the ball game. Luster just did.
Down the lane, Hall fights for his own. Out of bounds, Concordia will keep it.
Terzic that time on the floor for Mountain State. Had that ball go off of his arm. He was already knocked to the boards, but the ball hit him on its way out of bounds.
Off the inbound, Jeremy Groth. Lucas fights for the rebound, and it goes out of bounds to Mountain State. Concordia comes into this ball game for Coach Ammon with a 33-4 record. They play in the Golden State Athletic Conference. And Mountain State 36-1 from the season.
Good defensive play that time on the retreat by Jeremy Groth. Got his back to the basketball, but kept his hands low, was able to knock down that pass. And how about Chris Victor knocking down another three?
3 threes in the ball game. He shoots 40% from three land on the season.
And he has been the offensive difference for the Eagles here in this ball game, keeping his club in the ball game through the first 12 minutes with long-range shooting.
And that time a little bit of a defensive difference as he causes the turnover. Let's look again at that last three by Victor.
Well, he is experienced. He has a feel for the game and what his team needs. He knows that he's got one of the scorers off the floor with Luster over on the bench, so he puts a little more emphasis on the guard play and scoring on the perimeter. Left him open, he took the shot.
There goes Beeler right to the rack, couldn't finish, and the rebound pulled away by Walker.
And Beeler was quick getting there.
He's a track guy, a high jumper.
Well, no kidding.
6'8", in fact. He's an All-American high jumper, or all-conference, I should say, out there in the GSAC. We have timeout on the floor. 7:53 to go first half. A good one here in the title game. Mountain State leads it by 3. The 67th annual Buffalo Funds NAIA Division I National Championship Tournament, and Zach Moss with authority. Right out of the break, along with Paul Splittorff. This is Neil Harwell, courtside in the championship game. And Zach Moss, if we weren't awakened yet here tonight, Split, well, he took care of that.
Neil, we talked early in the ballgame how Mountain State very good at getting Zach Moss the basketball, usually in their motion offense, that time on the inbounds pass. And you can see why they try to get the ball in his hands around the hoop.
Groth finds it down low. That's his first hoop tonight. The honorable mention All-American.
And Concordia now starting to establish themselves on the glass, especially the offensive glass. Second and third chance opportunities over the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Moss fighting inside for the rebound, but Victor comes away.
Luster that time with good seal off defensively.
The other way with Victor on the wing will shape up the offense now.
Need to get a hand in his face. He's shooting with a lot of confidence right now. Adrian Jackson has the defensive assignment.
Victor quickly to Beeler. And back out high as the shot clock goes down inside 15 seconds and they reshape everything.
Good defensive rotation that time by Mountain State and good patience by Concordia. Did not force the shot.
Moss the rebound on the miss by Victor. Adrian Jackson always has his head up looking around down the floor, averaging 10 assists a game on the season.
And usually looking to push the basketball.
Gilliard from outside, and another three for Gilliard, his third.
And Jackson, he gets a lot of his assists by doing just that right there. Put the ball on the floor, get it into the lane, set up one of your teammates. But you got to have guys that can finish. You talk about some players having a hard time finishing. Well, Gilliard can usually drill it when it's uncontested from long range.
You know, Jackson has a couple guys on that team that can finish.
Yes, he
how
does.
about Moss inside, and how about Gilliard from three? And that's how you have 10 assists a game on the season. We look again.
Well, you see the quickness by Jackson. This is what he does. Get it into the middle. People step up to take away the drive. He's very capable of finding the open shooter. A lot of times it's Moss in low. If it's not Moss in low, it's usually Gilliard out on the perimeter. And Jackson's back next year. He's only a junior.
That last foul was on Gilliard, and to the line, it's Luster. Now 2 out of 3 from the line in the ball game. We talked about this. He had 26 boards to go along with his 19 points Luster did in the title game a season ago, and he won the Hustle Award, the Charles Stevenson Hustle Award here at the NAIA tournament.
Well, Vanderlaan was the player of the year in their conference, but Luster is really more active inside. Both of them really solid players, but Luster appears to be tireless and always working, even without the basketball. So in some ways, he's going to be tougher to defend than Vanderlaan.
And that'll win you the Hustle Award here at the NAIA tournament. Down low, Zach Moss, and that's just too easy that time. He has 8 points.
Well, he's quick with the basketball once he gets his hands on it. First of all, he's got the good hands. He's able to control even the tough passes into him with players hanging all over him. And then he is so quick with his moves. That one got him to the glass right away.
Two-man game, Victor and
a double team. Again, the double team coming from the guard out front.
Groth for 3, short, rebound, Moss.
That's a great win for Moss, able to seal off Vanderlaan inside. Gives away a lot of size and strength.
And Corte Hall comes to the party with a big 3-ball. He averages 13 points a game.
Last night it was free throws. He was 12 of 12 from the free throw line. Tonight it's Hall doing some long-range bombing. Right now, Mountain State's doing a good job of finding guys on the perimeter. That defense packed inside because of Zach Thomas. And Mountain State showing us they've got pretty good offensive balance.
And they now have the largest lead of the ball game of 10. What do you have going for the Final Four? Well, now is your chance to prove to the world how much you know about college basketball as Tourney Talk, presented by Miller Lite, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Every game day during the tournament, you can interact with CSTV's Sid Rosenberg, Virginia Tech head coach Seth Greenberg, and a parade of expert guests in a live call-in show. Be part of Tourney Talk, presented by Miller Lite at 1-877-GO-TO-CSTV. You can also check it out on the web at collegesports.com and AOL.com. Tourney Talk presented by Miller Lite, all part of CSTV's 32 Days of Madness, 64 hours a day, Friday at 6.
Neil, a little timeout right here. Both these teams well coached, and figure them to come out with a plan after a timeout. We saw what Mountain State did with their plan after the last timeout. The high lob to Zach Moss and the strong flush right there. Attack on the offensive end. A little seal down low. Great pick by Gilliard to free up his teammate.
And Zach Moss is loosening the bolts in the auditorium here tonight. You know, this is a guy, the player of the year in the NAIA. He had to be talked into going out for basketball in high school by his running mate, Adrian Jackson, down there at Pompano Beach, Florida. And Zach Moss, I guess, is glad he went on ahead and did that.
Well, good recruiting by Adrian Jackson for his high school team. And said, well, it worked so well, I'll just take him on to college with me.
A few years later, your player of the year in the NAIA, and now he has 8 points in this one here tonight.
It's a crucial possession right here for Concordia. They need to reestablish their offense, take the momentum away from Mountain State, and pick up some of their own momentum.
On the baseline, Beeler. And just scooped off his melon. Terzic just right off the head inside of Tanner.
Beeler is more of a mid-range shooter, but that shot's so wide open that defense backed off of him. Got to take that one, and got to be able to hit most of them.
Mountain State leading by 10. And Terzic draws the foul on Victor. Well, you have to respect the 53% three-point shooting of Mirsad Terzic, the 6'8", 195 sophomore.
And you got to try to get a hand in his face, and at 6'8", he'll be able to shoot over the top of most guards. Got to honor his long-range shot. Try to get a hand in his face.
We approach the 4-minute mark. Jackson deals it off. This is Walker falling away, and the rebound right into the hands of Porte Hall off glass.
Mountain State working very hard, spreading the floor right there, trying to open up some driving lanes. Concordia did a nice job of sealing off, but didn't do a great job on the defensive glass.
He has 5. And the lead out to a dozen now for Mountain State. Growth from outside. He's having a hard time finding it here tonight. And the rebound tipped out Walker. On the move, spinning off the glass, collects his own. Can't get the roll, but the rebound tracked by Terzic.
And over the last couple minutes, Mountain State's been doing a better job on their offensive end in the rebounding category.
Oh, Jackson broke them all down and found Moss inside.
Again, they do a great job of getting the ball in the hands of their scorer. And Jackson getting another assist right there. He averages just under 10 assists per game. What's he got, 6 already tonight?
6 assists tonight for Jackson. They cross it to Victor for 3. This time he's short. Look at the battle for the rebound by Lucas. He finds Groth for 3, and he's short again. Jeremy Groth, an outstanding three-point shooter, but so far tonight, not having a lot of luck. Foul down low on Terzic as he fouls Lucas.
And Lucas, terrific on the offensive glass that time for Concordia. Did 2 jobs on the offensive glass, got 1 rebound himself. He tipped another one outside, so 3 chances that time for Concordia, and they still got the ball.
We've got timeout on the floor with 3:04 left in this one. And Mountain State, the 2 guys from Pompano Beach, Florida, working it well that time. They lead it by 14.
Mountain State leading this one 34-20 behind their leading scorer, Zach Moss. We talked at the opener of tonight's ballgame about Moss does everything. There he is defensively with a shot block. Moss, 10 points in the ballgame so far on 5 of 7 shooting. Has 3 boards, 2 blocks. So really filling the stat sheet here tonight. That's the most spectacular play of the evening right there.
Moss averaging 29 a game here in the tournament. He's already had a game of 38 against Wayland Baptist. That was in round 2, and a game of 34 here last night against Georgetown in the semifinals. Concordia basketball as they inbound it to Hall.
Mountain State continues to play man-to-man defense, so many teams go zone on those inbounds passes underneath their own basket. Both teams have played man-to-man all night.
Hall from outside, and that one was halfway down. Foul inside going against Luster. And on Luster,
tough shooting luck right there for Concordia.
Absolutely, and on Luster, that is his 2nd foul. And right now, Concordia really having a tough time. 25% from the floor and 56% for Mountain State. And Ken Ammon knows that's not the way it usually goes down for this Concordia team. They shoot 42% of the season from the 3 line, and there is that shooting percentage.
Neil, by the time you get to this stage of the season, you have gone through stretches like this. What you have to do is find a way to hang around in the ball game. You do that by playing rugged, sticky defense, get some shutouts on the other end of the floor, and do a great job on the boards.
Off the inbound, but it was Moss that swatted away the inbound. They were looking for Vanderloon. Ahead of the pack, Walker, and he scoops it home.
And that's the Mountain State game. If you want to go out and average better than 95 25 points per game. You're going to have to get some of it on steals, some of it in transition. To start that transition, you got to be able to do a good job of getting the defensive rebound or get your hand on a pass to create the turnover.
Largest lead of the game of 16. Working inside Beeler, but his rock was picked down there, and here comes Jackson on the move. Hop step, I'll see you down the lane with a roundhouse running right-hand hook. It was time to bring that one out in the title game split.
Neil, he got caught in the air with no place to go. Needed to have somebody to pass, but the pass was taken away by Concordia.
And Adrian Jackson slamming the ball. I mean, I need to go down to the Bell Rec to see that one. And he's pulling it out in the title game. He has 6 assists here tonight, though. That's as per the norm. He averages 10 assists a game on the season. And it looks like they're attending to Dwight Anglade on the other end of the floor, the 6'6" senior from Plantation, Florida.
Trainer's out on the floor to attend to the players, so that means he'll have to leave for at least a possession. Hopefully for Mountain State, Anglade will be back. He is one of 6 players that average in double figures for Mountain State.
Man, Bob Boland's team has been hot over the last a little over 7 minutes. And they have taken it out to a 16-point lead here at Municipal Auditorium in Kansas City. There's the defending champion national coach of the year in 2003, Ken Ammon, looking for some answers here in half number 1.
And Neil, when you get to this time of the year and the teams are so good, a 7-minute stretch of scoring only 3 points can be an absolute killer.
Zach Moss spinning and grinning in the lane. He has 12.
And he is so quick. Back to the basket right there. He's quick with his elevation getting off the floor. Good soft jump shot right there by Moss. That's about the extent of his shooting range right there.
He doesn't step out beyond that too often, and certainly hasn't done it here in the tournament. Victor down low, Luster. You talk about position and a sturdy frame in there, and a guard wanting to maybe throw you the ball in there when a guy wants it like that, Split?
Well, he wants it there. The guys in the white shirts don't want him getting it there because he is going to deal out some punishment when he gets it. Strong low blocks position for Luster. He's got an idea about the position game. Get players in the air and make sure you're leaning into them to create the contact. He's strong enough to fight his way through it.
And Moss, a member of the Parachute Brugers Club there, you know, with his first personal foul and about the 4th pump fake that Luster had going. It's a pre-med major, Tanner Luster. He made the game-winning shot in the championship game last season. This is 2 here, but they get the rebound.
Got to capitalize right here. Got a little bit of a break because of your work on the offensive glass.
And Vanderlaan right to work. Lady hook in the lane.
Now likes to turn to that left shoulder. He's a right-handed shooter. And good timing, good release right there. Soft touch for Vanderlaan.
A guy that attended the Pete Newell Big Man Camp showed you one of those.
And that's by invitation only, I believe, isn't it?
I think so. And 6'10" Vanderlaan certainly has qualified. Moss right back at him and ringed up, tipped home by Anglade.
And Mountain State right now even getting all the breaks right there. They're doing a good job of working on the offensive glass, but that time rebounded coming off right where they wanted.
Vanderlaan gets the roll after the pump fake, and he has 8.
And Concordia continues to work hard both ends of the floor. That's what you would expect in a championship game.
They can play it for the final shot here in the first half. Mountain State with that 16-point lead. Largest of the game is 18. Jackson backs it out, then calls timeout. This will be a 30 as Bob Boland wants to talk over the final shot of the first half with his Cougars.
Neither one of these 2 teams used many timeouts in their ball games here last night, but a lot riding on the game here tonight. And even though you've got a 16-point lead, you want to take advantage of the 30 right here. You don't unable to carry it over into the second half, so use it, and you feel like you need to cash in on every possession.
And when they've been able to spread the floor against the man-to-man defense, put Jackson in the middle of that, handling the ball, he's got all those options we talked about. Guys like Hall and Gilliard on the perimeter. Down low, he's got Moss, who's the #1 option in the country, I guess you would say, being the player of the year.
Well, they put a lot of heat on a defense. Concordia plays the solid man-to-man defense. I would figure Moss would be the #1 option if they try to penetrate it. Gilliard is #4, the left-handed shooter. You want to get a hand on his face if you're a Concordia defender.
14.5 to work with here at the end of the first half. Cougars of Mountain State by 16 here in the title game.
They like to run that 1-4 high, either a backdoor cut or the high lock.
And Walker launches a 3-ball, and Vanderlaw on the rebound, and that's your first half. Here in the NAIA Division I National Championship game, it's Mountain State looking for revenge from last season. They lead it by 16. And when we come back, Adam Zucker in the CSTV Fieldhouse talks to the 4 teams headed to San Antonio. Stay with us. You're watching CSTV. Leading it by 16 here in the National Championship Tournament title game. And hi again, everybody. Neil Harwell, Paul Splittorff with you here at halftime. And Paul, our title game between these 2 teams that played a season ago, Concordia winning in overtime. But this game, Mountain State.
Well, they've been able to play their game. They've got an advantage in virtually every phase of the ball game. They've gotten some things going in transition. They've had good balance between inside scoring of Moss and perimeter shooting. So they play well in the first 20 minutes, and they've created quite a situation for Concordia. They've got a long way to come back in this one.
Well, let's go right to the story. Take a look at the numbers here in the first half. And, of course, as we said, Mountain State shooting the ball very well.
Well, Mountain State at 55%, just 28% for Concordia. A little bit there. Slight advantage in the three-point shooting. 6 points difference there. How about the rebounds? Big time edge for Mountain State. Second chance opportunities, a little bit more there. 4 blocks for Mountain State, and points in the paint. 22-8, again, favoring Mountain State. So virtually every category, they won the first 20 minutes.
And Mountain State being led by Zach Moss with 12 points inside. With those points in the paint, that's where they're getting it done. And right now they lead at 40-24. Hey, it might be cold outside, like 35 degrees, but let's enjoy an ice cream cone in here tonight at the title game. We'll be back right after this. Time here at the Municipal Auditorium in Kansas City, the NAIA Division I Championship game, and so far so good for Mountain State. They lead it 40-24. Let's take a look at our first half highlights. Split.
Well, Concordia got things going pretty well, but neither team shot well early in the first half. But Chris Victor, he did shoot well early in the first half. Had 3 3-point baskets, leading 9 points. Inside, Nick Vanderlaan, 8 points, 5 rebounds. He gets his work done on the low blocks. Nice baby hook right there. Vanderlaan with a solid first half. But for Mountain State, they got the long-range shot early from Zane Gilliard. 3 of 5 from long range in the first half. He finished the first stanza with 9 points, and Zach Moss continues to do it all. 12 points. He leads all scorers at the break. Also got 4 rebounds and a couple blocks in the first 20 minutes.
And Zach Moss is your leading scorer in the first half for both teams. Moss with 12, Gilliard 9. He hit 3 threes from outside, and the rest of the folks, Jackson, Hall, and Terzic, who came in there and launched a 3 to get part of his 5 points there in the first half, did a nice job off the bench.
Mountain State with terrific balance. They played 8 players in that first half. 7 of them scored.
Victor had 9 points for Concordia. He did that on 3-point shooting, but for the most part, they were cold in half number 1. Finished the first half, Concordia did, shooting 28%, and that is uncharted territory almost for Concordia. They shoot 48% from the field on the season coming into this tournament, and they have shot it well in the tournament also.
Ken Ammon, before the start of the ball game, said, we know that Mountain State is going to be able to score. We've got to be able to score with them. And I don't think he had 24 points in the first half on his mind when he made that comment.
No, don't think so. They average 84 points a game on the season, and Coach Ammon and his Concordia Eagles, the defending national champions, going to have to make some things happen here in the second half if they would like to repeat, and they would be only the 8th team to repeat in the 67-year history of this tournament. But they have a chance to do that right in front of them, but they will need a good start to this second half, and that first 5 minutes, I would have to think, very critical here tonight.
Well, they talk about the second half in stanzas. Take 4 or 5 minutes, try to cut into this league, regain some momentum. You're down 16 right now. See if you can cut it to about 10, say in the first 4 or 5 minutes. If you're going to do that, you got to get some things done. Shutouts on the defensive end, and you got to value possessions, get good shots on the offensive end. Still a long way to go in this game, and they can light up the scoreboard in a big hurry.
Victor, nice penetration, finds Luster. It had a chance there, but it was capped from behind by Anglade. Dwight Anglade just got a hand on that one as Luster went for the pump fake, with Bob Bolin looking on, and a 16-point lead for the Cougars of Mountain State. So they re-rack it on the inbound. Here's Victor. Nice little bounce pass to Luster.
You can see the focal point for Concordia is get the ball in on the low block. They've got to be able to establish the paint, get some things going. They were outscored big time in the first half on points in the paint.
Gilliard right down central, but Vanderlaan the rebound.
And you can see Gilliard a lot more comfortable shooting from long range than he is putting the ball on the floor and taking it to the rim. But good attack by Gilliard.
That way, that way.
And a foul inside. They're going to whistle Luster for the foul as he was trying to clear out and shape up inside, and that is his third personal foul.
May have to play with 3 personal fouls. There's the solid position. Doesn't need to push off right there because he already has the position. He's in the position he wants. Just let your strong body go to work for you.
And that's what he does most of the time. 4 for Luster.
He didn't need any better position than what he already had.
There goes Gilliard. Had some contact. No call. Here comes Victor in transition. On the move. Whips a pass inside, and Beeler finishes and one.
Well, credit Victor right there. This is the guy with the savvy, the experience, make some things happen, get the ball in the hands of the right people, right spot of the floor. You see Beeler right there. He's an interior player. You talked about his explosiveness in the first half. He can do some damage if he gets the ball right there, and it's Victor's responsibility to get it done.
And to the line, Torin Beeler to try to complete the three-point play. Played his freshman year at Liberty University, and a violation, this one going against Mountain State. So Beeler will re-rack it.
And now
I don't know that that's such a good thing. He's 46% on the season.
Look for the rebound then if you're Concordia. 4-0 run to open here in the second half for the Eagles.
A lot of times he'll go right on down the lane and get his own rebound of a missed free throw, but not that time. And he misses 2.
Mountain State was a very poised basketball team that first 20 minutes.
There goes Jackson, blocked by Vanderlaan, but Jackson on the deck and calls timeout. So Adrian Jackson with a nice penetration that time. When he got it rejected, he went right to the floor to grab the rebound. And after you have played now in your 5th game in a week, as we talked about in this tournament, to win it, you're going to have to summon some strength up from the depths. Get those legs that probably starting to feel a little bit like spaghetti at this point.
Well, at least you're playing for a whole lot, and you got a number of months before these teams will gather again next October.
Well, let's take a look at some of the other tournaments in the NAIA this season and how they all went down. How about your old school, Morningside?
Our girls are pretty good,
They're
Neil.
pretty good right there with a 13-point win in Sioux City. Pretty nice home cooking there, and they win it by 13. That's the women's Division II national title. The men Division II played down in Point Lookout, Missouri in the Branson area, and Oregon Tech wins it 81-72. And the Division I Women's Championship in Jackson, Tennessee, out of the Sooner Athletic Conference. Both those teams, Oklahoma City and Southern Nazarene, they know each other very well. And this time, it's Southern Nazarene coming out on top by 16. So those are the title holders, and we're looking to make it 4 here tonight in the NAIA Division I Men's National Championship. Either Mountain State or Concordia here tonight. Let's also take a look at the NAIA All-Americans as announced today. We have 2 on the first team in our game here tonight. Zach Moss is the player of the year and a first-team All-American for Mountain State. And Nick Vanderlaan. He's the transfer from Virginia University and also from California University in the Pac-10. In fact, he started for a while there at Cal. And Vanderlaan, the 6'10 senior, is also a first-team All-American. Those just announced today, and there is Zach Moss. So after the timeout, Jackson will trigger it in for Mountain State as Concordia has come out and scored the first 4 points of the second half.
Good opportunity for Mountain State right here to get on the board in the second half, come out of a block set.
A lot of times they look for Moss on the lob, not this time.
Good man-to-man defense by Concordia that time. Keep everybody out on the perimeter. Does a good job of sliding through picks.
Jackson on the reset with the penetration, leaves it for Hall.
Mismatch right there out front. Switch back, point guards not covering each other.
Shot clock at 2, and Glade throws up the air ball and rebounded by Growth.
Short shot clock that time because you remember on the initial drive by Jackson, the ball never touched the rim.
So a great opportunity for Concordia now. Beeler down low, takes it strong. I think Moss might have gotten a piece down in there.
All three of their frontline guys that time for Concordia got their hand on the ball. Two of them on the offensive rebound, couldn't control it.
Here's Jackson, 7 assists in the first half. And I think
if you're Mountain State right now, you want to be patient on the offensive end, but you also don't want to be lethargic. Don't forget how you got this nice, comfortable lead to 16 points at the break. Now down to 12.
I think Gilliard got a Three Stooges poke in the eye, but Anglade doesn't care. He takes it right down the lane and scores.
Anglade, remember, was hurt in that first half. Didn't play the last couple minutes. I'm sure the Cougars glad he's back out on the floor.
Victor right down central, but he missed the shot. Rebound Moss.
And when you're trailing on the scoreboard and need points, can't miss shots like that or give up that shot.
What a look by and flushed home by Anglade.
And that's Mountain State running their offense. They love the transition game. They've got terrific speed and athletic ability. Guys doing a good job of filling their lanes. Defense didn't get back all that quickly for Concordia.
And right back to a 16-point lead. Lob down low, Vanderlaan on the deck, and when it's down there, it's Jackson's and a tie ball situation. We look again at that last assist by Adrian Jackson, his 8th of the game.
Well, look at Mountain State pushing the basketball, nothing but white shirts down on the offensive end. See the open man, find him, Anglade after the pass from Jackson. Jackson really lighting it up. He is controlling the basketball here tonight.
Possession arrow for Mountain State. They'll have the basketball. Adrian Jackson against Oklahoma Baptist in round 3 had 10 points, 9 rebounds, and 11 assists. And Split, as we say here, he about messed around and got a triple-double there.
Jackson played 17 and a half minutes in that first half. Points out the importance of him to his basketball team. When he gets to the bench, it's just to grab a breather. Talk about the importance of guard play. It's even more important this time of year. Guard play in general, point guard play in particular.
Hall on the miss. Gilliard went for the tip try. And here comes Victor the other way for Concordia.
Continue to look inside on the low blocks. Big guys got to make something happen. Repost, get it in a little closer, got to take that shot.
Two-man game, put back Vanderlaan.
And how about the inside rebounding position? Vanderlaan just coming down the paint that time, slipped into that inside rebounding position. He should be able to cash in 100% of those shots.
That's as strong and rugged attack as you're going to see in the NAIA, without a doubt.
Well, the persistence of getting the ball in on the low blocks. Didn't work the first time. Reset offensively, get in a little closer. And Moss, he likes to play that game with his back to the basket as well.
And Vanderlaan certainly bothered that shot that time. Here comes Victor, pulls up from outside. That's a 3 for Victor, his 4th.
And they've cut the lead to 11. So the first 4.5 minutes have really gone pretty well for Concordia.
Off the screen, Gilliard from the parking lot. It looked like he might have gotten the foul, but it's his 4th 3 of the game.
And buried it under pressure. Groth that time had a hand in his face.
And right back at you by Groth.
You're supposed to have a shooting championship game.
The teardrops are falling here in the auditorium in Kansas City. Moss with an easy stick. He's got 14.
Great entry pass that time. Again, credit the point guard for making that play possible. Mountain State so good at the entry passes, especially to Zach Moss.
Concordia shapes up their offense. Out high, Vanderlaan shows you his outside touch at 6'10".
He's got a terrific release and a soft touch from long range.
He's on his way to another double-double. He has 24 double-doubles this season. Point-blank miss by Anglade, and here comes Concordia.
And that rebound completely sealed off by the black shirts.
Victor just a little short that time. Rebound Jackson puts the hammer down to the glass and lays it in.
Jackson all alone that time. Nobody to pass to, so just put it on the floor and take it to the front edge of the rim.
Always look to stop the ball if you're on defense. Nobody chose to do that time. Pat him on the butt, wish him luck. And Adrian Jackson with 7 points here tonight.
When the point guard has the ball, somebody needs to step up and challenge and stop the ball at least by the top of the key. And Jackson was able to take it deep that time.
That foul is on Moss, his 2nd. That's the first team foul, or 2nd team foul here in the second half on Mountain State. So Vanderlaan will shoot free throws.
And Concordia looks like they are winded. They need to play this style, the up and down, make it a frantic effort here in the second half, but might be playing into the hands of Mountain State, who would favor the 94-foot play.
Vanderlaan set the school single-season rebound record this season, averaging 11 rebounds a game. And as we talked about earlier, he's averaging 15 rebounds a game in the tournament. And that's up there among some of the top that ever played in this tournament. Dennis Rodman averaged 19 rebounds a game in his run with Southeastern Oklahoma in 1986. And that included a 32 rebound effort in one of the games in that tournament. And we all know what happened to Dennis Rodman. And Vanderlaan now with a dozen points with both of those free throws. Concordia creeping back in this one. They now trail it by 11. You're watching CSTV. The lead at halftime for Mountain State, but Concordia back to within 11 right now. Friday through Monday, CSTV primetime and scoreboard comes to you live from San Antonio, the site of this year's NCAA men's basketball Final Four all weekend long. Penn Holderness, Tracy Wolfson, and Matt Doherty bring you expert insight on this weekend's games, plus interviews and analysis from coaches and guests. CSTV primetime and scoreboard live from San Antonio all week long.
Concordia stepping up the pressure defensively now, covering the ball a little bit farther out on the floor. They need to find a way to get some extra possessions here in the second half. One could be by possible turnover.
Moss goes strong and scores. It has 16.
And he's able to take that rebound over the top of Luster inside. Luster had the inside position, but Moss quicker to the basketball.
Here is Luster on the block working against Moss. Swinging around the perimeter. Now to Hull.
A 4-out, 1-in look right now for Concordia.
Hull missing the three. And a foul on Mountain State.
Did they get Moss? He's starting to get into some foul trouble.
Well, let's see. I think they did whistle Moss. That is his third personal, and it's the fourth team foul here on Mountain State in the second half. So Zach Moss, the player of the year in the NAIA with 16 points here tonight, now has 3 personal fouls. Growth on the way.
DJ Lucas working hard on the low blocks far side to give away some size and strength inside, but he's a solid defender.
Give the basket to Luster as Moss goaltends on that one. And inside of double digits now, or actually that gets the lead to 11.
Moss is a terrific shot blocker. Most of his blocks come from the weak side help. That time he had man-to-man coverage on Luster. The ball right in front of the rim when he swatted away. Now an important possession for Mountain State. Concordia's gotten some momentum here over the last couple minutes.
This is Eddie Starks spelling Jackson right now at the point guard position.
Starks gave them some good minutes here last night.
Great look inside to Moss, but he was on the baseline. So Concordia will get it back with 12 and a half to play, approaching the 12-and-a-half-minute mark. And Mountain State by 11. Glad to have you on CSTV here tonight. The NAIA Division I National Championship Tournament game, along with Paul Splittorff. This is Neil Harwell, and Concordia with the basketball on the offensive end.
Ken Ammon, the coach for Concordia, says, guys, let's run our motion offense. We want ball movement and player movement without the ball.
Victor, nice pass. Lucas missed on the other side.
Victor made the play happen. Concordia got the shot that they wanted from right next to the hoop. Still a long way to go in this ballgame. Just over 12 minutes. Concordia, they can make some shots, get some turnovers like they just had. Figure to make this a game.
On the wing, Growth a little strong this time. Hall an offensive rebound on the weak side. Lucas for 3.
And talk about capitalizing on your extra possession. Remember, they got a turnover, then they got an offensive rebound. A shot out on one end, 3 on the other, and they're getting closer all the time.
DJ Lucas with the big hoop. Moss right back at him, now has 18.
And another great entry pass. That time it's Starks getting the assist. Moss on the finish.
Lead is 10 for Mountain State. They led by 16 at halftime.
Battle going on inside. Moss on the defensive end. Luster right there with the ball in the low blocks. There's some double team help.
Finds some help with Growth from outside, and there's a 3 ball going down for Jeremy Grove.
And Concordia continues the barrage right there. They're picking up threes on the offensive end and only occasionally giving up a 2 on the other end.
Lead is now 7 for Mountain State. Starting to heat up from three-point land now, Concordia from Irvine, California.
And the game's starting to get a little bit more physical, especially out on the perimeter.
Starks from way downtown, and the rebound to Luster. And here come the Eagles of Concordia, the defending national champions.
And if I remember right, in the championship game last year, Mountain State got off to a big lead, and Concordia came from 10 down in that one.
And here they come again, split. Down by 4 with that 3-ball from Jeremy Grove.
When you get to this stage of the season, both teams coming in are used to winning. And Concordia moving their way back now in the best offensive rhythm that they've had all night long. Got an extra possession, DJ Lucas. He buries a 3. Then they counter with from Jeremy Grove. Now balancing out all over the floor. They're hot on the offensive end.
And Jeremy Grove with an excited Concordia bench, just like they were last season when they won this national championship game. Grove was the guy that led the team in scoring last season, over 14 a game. Had the school record in threes for a season with 141. He comes back this season not scoring quite as much, 13 a game, but still one of their leaders. He's all conference and honorable mention All-American the last couple of seasons. And there is Zach Moss, a guy that Mountain State will go to down the stretch for sure. Averaging 29 a game in this tournament, player of the year in the NAIA. But he has 3 fouls right now with 10:38 left. Looks like they're also working on him on the wrist area there.
He's got the gloves on. That tells you that they got a little blood working right there. So got to get the bleeding stopped and covered to continue play.
You know, normally you might say another player must have got a fingernail in there, a scratch mark or something like that, but we're going to go ahead and call that rim damage here tonight for Zach Moss.
And Concordia started getting into this ball game when they started stretching their defense a little more, a little token three-quarter court pressure, man-to-man style.
There goes Jackson, the scoop, no, got his own. Finding Walker on the baseline. How about the work by Jackson for his 9th assist?
Well, Jackson back on the floor because it's crunch time for his basketball team. Momentum swinging the other way. Mountain State trying to reclaim.
What a big play by Adrian Jackson. Vanderlaan lost the handle over to Jackson. As the lead is back out to 7.
Contact inside that time. Mountain State stepping up and matching the physical play of Concordia.
Victor on the strip after he was broken down, and it's going to go over to Concordia. They say stripped it off of Mountain State. We've got time out of the floor. How about the work inside by the 6-foot Jackson, finding Walker, and Mountain State by 7. State by 7 with 9:56 left in the game. But Jeremy Grove heating up here in the second half as he has nailed 3 3-balls here in half number 2.
And the 3-point shot and ball can get a team back in it in a hurry. Overall, Concordia shooting better than 50% in the second half. They're 10 of 19.
And this Concordia team shoots it at 42% from the 3-line on the season.
Both big guys back on the floor now for the Eagles. Vanderlaan in there along with Luster.
Vanderlaan wants it inside, but from outside, Victor, too strong.
Good defensive work by Mountain State that time. Concordia had the high-low going with Vanderlaan wanting the ball inside with Luster. It's not available in the paint. Had to take a long-range shot.
On the move, Corte Hall rings out. It's an offensive foul.
Officials in the NAIA tournament this week have made it very tough call on the charge block call. Right here, shooter pulls up, tries to avoid the contact. Good defensive work by Victor, stepping up and taking the charge.
Chris Victor leads this Concordia team up the floor on the offensive end now, trailing by 7.
And Mountain State now trying to up the pressure on their defensive end. That's something that paid dividends earlier in this half for Concordia.
Stolen away, Jackson. Boy, Adrian Jackson has just come up with play after play in this tournament for Mountain State.
And so many of those kind of plays would go unnoticed. How about that entry pass?
Great look inside. Moss draws the foul against Vanderlaan, and that will be Vanderlaan's second personal foul, second team foul on Concordia here in the second half.
And Neil, check out this entry pass by Jackson. Get it down and away from a defender. Get it down close to the floor. Moss goes down and digs it out. Get the defender on your hip, try to seal him off. That was a terrific entry pass by Jackson.
Jackson with 9 assists in the game already, 8 rebounds in the game. He's the leading rebounder in the game tonight from his point guard position. 7 points. Moss inside.
It's all about the passing angle. That time it was Jackson dumping the ball down to Terzic down on the baseline. Terzic with the great entry pass.
Lead back out to 9. It was 4 just moments ago. There goes Beeler, stripped from behind. I think it was Hall that got a karate chop in there. Terzic from outside. Rare miss from 3 for him. 2-on-3, looking for some help. Here's Hall.
Can get that shot from the corner anytime they want. They didn't want to pressure three-pointer early in the possession.
And they swung it all the way around the perimeter, found their guy on the block, their first-team All-American, Nick Vanderlaan, and he draws the foul.
And Neil, when you watch these two teams, one of the things that jumps out at you early about both of them, completely unselfish. They've got a great concept and an understanding of team play. How to move without the basketball, how to move the basketball to set up your teammates. Both these teams, extremely unselfish.
And Vanderlaan back to the free throw line. And gets the roll. Vanderlaan's hit all 3 of his free throws here tonight. Growth checking back into the ballgame, replacing Beeler for Concordia. Vanderlaan with a big game last night, 13 points, 19 rebounds in the semifinals against Mobile. Player of the year in the Golden State Athletic Conference there in California. That's a very nice league. Both free throws there. Lead is 7. Mountain State here in the title game. Welcome back to Municipal Auditorium here in Kansas City. The NAIA Division I Championship on CSTV here tonight. Along with Paul Splittorff, this is Neil Harwell. Glad you've joined us here this evening. The toughest tournament to win in college basketball. You have to win 5 games in a span of a week to be called national champion. Concordia won it last year. This is a rematch between these two teams, Mountain State and Concordia. Concordia won this game in overtime by 4 last season.
Walker on the drive right there, nowhere to go, gives up the bad pass. Another turnover for Mountain State. Concordia with an opportunity to draw a little bit closer. They've been patient and relentless here. Early moments of the second half.
Stripped by Moss. Lucas got it back, and then Luster blew it inside. Lucas off glass and one.
Lucas made the play originally. Got to the loose ball. Got possession for Concordia. Great dump down pass. Check out Luster with his work. The ball's not loose now. Back to work. Luster with the ball inside, misses, but here comes Lucas. Another loose ball. Lean in, create the contact, get the ball in the glass strong. Now got a opportunity for a 3-point play.
And Luster, to his credit, after missing about as easy a shot as he's ever going to hit, tips it out. And this is your 96% free throw shooter.
Was 52 of 54 coming into tournament play.
Finally misses one.
I think we can call that a rare miss.
Very rare indeed. Walker on the baseline. They cut him off right to Anglade. Good dish off by Walker.
Well, Walker had the last drive, remember, and had the bad pass. But again, puts the ball on the floor, unafraid. Go ahead and go with your game. That's his game. He's an aggressive, slashing type player. That time, good pass. They're able to complete the effort.
Lucas shaking up, tipping up down low inside. He's triple teamed and kicks it out to Grove. Back to Lucas as they repost again. This is an offensive foul going against Lucas.
Concordia has made some headway here in the second half because they've done a good job on the low blocks. There's the seal set up offensively, repost again, get it back, try to seal off the defender. A little lead with the right arm right there, knocks Terzic to the floor. He sold that ball.
Here's Jackson, who has 11 assists in this game tonight.
How about the play of both point guards here tonight?
Victor tied him up. Timeout called, though, and they got it in time. So Mountain State with the timeout. They'll talk it over. Bob Bolin in that huddle. Coach Bolin has won 20 games 8 times in his 10 seasons now at Mountain State. Guy that started at his coaching career at Park Junior High School there in Beckley. And then he went on to become an assistant at Woodrow Wilson High School, a very good program in the high school area as we look at Ken Ammon in the Concordia huddle.
Okay, go 2.
And there is Coach Bolin once again, and he went out and hired the guy that was the head man at Woodrow Wilson, and that's Dave Barksdale, who's in that huddle somewhere. Now as assistant coach, and let's look again at how the timeout was called on the end for Mountain State.
Well, Mountain State, Adrian Jackson, the ball out front, has picked up his dribble. Teammates having trouble getting to him. Check out the bottom of the left corner. You see the movement and a pick right there. Well, pick the defender, not your teammate. Guys knocked off of their route right there, and guys going away from the basketball. That's why Jackson was held with nowhere to go out front.
Do you think you need to go pick the defense?
Usually, yeah, pick out the black shirt.
Here's Jackson out there handling against Victor. Great matchup of the point guards here tonight. Gilliard to the baseline. Finding Terzic.
That's been a good matchup as well. Good dribble drive by Gilliard. Dump down pass. When Mountain State plays well, they get a lot of assists per field goals. They did that in the first half. Most of their field goals came on assists, not one-on-one play.
Inside, Luster finishes. He has 8. And Split, this could be an important development. After that last timeout, Mountain State now throws it away. As we are just underneath 6 minutes to play, 5:41 left. They have no timeouts left. Moss will re-enter for Mountain State. Well, and it looks like a cramp with Jackson out around the midcourt stripe.
Well, Neil, you talk about this tough stretch of basketball games. Neither team has an advantage on the other. No buys in this tournament to where somebody's got to play every day, and your club had a day off. So it's getting late. Muscles getting a little bit tired, and you don't want to pick up the cramp right here.
Mountain State playing in their 5th game in a week, as well as Concordia here tonight, and these are the things that start to happen. Look at this night tonight. He may just go on ahead and get a triple-double here in the title game tonight.
Well, he's got a better chance of getting double figures rebounds than he does points, because remember, his game is to pass first. And the only way he's shooting the basketball is if they take that pass away from him. And even some days where they have, or some of the plays where they have taken the pass away, they list him at 6 feet, but I don't think he's seen 6 feet yet. So he has a little trouble when he gets in against the taller players.
Well, he's had a great tournament so far, and the way he's trying to hold that leg out, I think it is a ankle injury now that we review it. It first looked like he was holding his calf muscle, but that looks like an ankle injury. And 11 assists tonight. He came in here with 36 assists. Maybe the all-time assist record in the tournament. We'll check on that. Shannon Hoskins of Georgetown a few years ago set that record.
And Eddie Starks now a very important man for Mountain State. He's out there defending front against Chris Victor. He will be the point guard on the offensive end. A lot of the weight of his team rests on his shoulder.
Chris Victor with a 3 on the baseline, has 15.
Victor was the hot shooter in the first half. He was about the only thing that Concordia had going on the offensive end. Now he's just one of a number of weapons that the Eagles have going here in the second half.
And that's just the way he did it in last year's championship game when he brought his team from behind with 26 points. 4-point ball game. That's as close as Concordia has been able to get here in the second half. Down the lane, Starks is fouled by Vanderlaan, his 3rd.
Starks will look for the shot a little bit more than Adrian Jackson will. His game is the same. He doesn't have the quickness or the poise that Jackson brings to his ball club, but he will put the ball on the floor and take it to the rim, and he'll look for the shot a little bit more frequently. See, he's bigger and got the stronger build.
Eddie Starks, 6'1" junior, Harlem, New York. Originally signed with Rutgers out of high school and then played at Iona before transferring here to Mountain State. He is a 58% free throw shooter and misses the first.
Is this their first free throws of the night?
First free throw of the night. On the other hand, Concordia's been to the line 12 times and he misses both. So here comes Concordia now trailing by 4.
Concordia could only dream to be in this position with just inside 5 minutes left. A 2-possession game.
Vanderlaan collects his own over the top of the defense and puts it right back in.
Has that kind of size and strength. He can take rebounds over the top of people. Moss on the bench for Mountain State. Can't be there too much longer.
16 for Vanderlaan and Walker from the top of the circle.
Well, this is a kid that is athletic and seemingly fearless. That's not a shot that he's taken all night long. We've seen him on the offensive end earlier. It's been on the slashing drive.
Walker, a junior college All-American from Chattanooga, JC. Down the lane, Gilliard off glass.
Did a good job of using his body to seal off the defender, working against Jeremy Groth. Able to get it high on the glass.
And does Mountain State have the answer here tonight? 2 quick hoops to take it back out to 7 points on the lead. Off the screen, Jeremy Groth for 3.
Jeremy Groth catches that ball and shoots it in rhythm. A high percentage shooter when he can shoot in that situation.
45% from the 3 line on the season for Jeremy Groth. Honorable mention All-American. And he's also an academic All-American. The lead is 4. Mountain State with the basketball. Their point guard Jackson is on the bench with an ankle injury.
Clear out that time for Starks. He went the opposite way.
Terzic tried to go behind his back, it looked like, and lost the handle. We approach the 3-minute mark in the title game. Concordia trailing by 4. They're the defending national champions after winning in overtime against this Mountain State team a season ago. Groth for 3. Rebound to Hull.
Concordia continues to get good shots on their offensive end and some second chance opportunities. Getting late in the game, tougher to play defense as that shot clock winds down.
Legs tired for each team. 5th game in a week. Luster banging his way down low, finds Groth for 3. Rebound taken away by Walker.
And if the legs start to go, long-range shooting will get a little bit tougher.
Groth now has 4 threes in the second half. Right down the lane, Starks, and he is fouled. That foul will go on Victor.
And how about Starks? Comes off after the injury to Jackson, acts like he wants the basketball. How about the crossover right there? And under control. Watch how he pulls up as he delivers the pass. If he keeps his momentum, solid defensive position, he probably would have gotten the charge, but pull up right there. Vanderlaan comes in and creates the contact.
We have a good one going in the title game. Just over 2 to play. Mountain State by 4. Working on Adrian Jackson, the floor general for Mountain State's ankle. Getting the retape job just behind their bench. 2:22 left. Mountain State leading by 4, but Concordia, with all the momentum right now, they have crept back into this one after trailing by 16 at halftime.
And after the foul, Mountain State gets the ball back out of bounds.
Moss back in there, the player of the year, but he misses this time. Rebound Luster.
And Mountain State was able to give him a 3-minute rest and still hold on to the lead. I'm sure Moss will be on the floor for the rest of the night.
Victor deals it off to Beeler. Out high, Hall for 3. Clint Hall with a 3 ball has a half dozen. The lead is 1 for Mountain State.
And this is the type of ball game we expected. Something going right to the wire.
Right to Moss, and he has 22.
And it was Starks on the assist right there. These guys so good on the lob, the bounce pass, any way they can to get the ball in the hands of Zach Moss.
Well, this game between these 2 teams went right down to the wire last season. In fact, in the title game, it went into overtime. Concordia won that one. Right now, it's Mountain State by 3. Victor in the lane, finds Luster, and he gets it to go.
Both teams doing a good job valuing their possession. Make something happen every time you've got your hands on the basketball.
Starks had it knocked away by Victor on the far sideline. Mountain State will have it with 28 on the shot clock. We approach the 1-minute mark.
And Jackson is back on the bench for Mountain State, and he is going to hobble to the scorer's table. They want him on the floor, even though he's way less than 100%.
Well, he's got a long time to rest that ankle. That was a pretty healthy tape job you saw him getting behind the bench over there.
It's so heavy it looks like a cast.
And he's out there playing. Adrian Jackson off the bench to lead his team. And Gilliard is fouled by Growth.
Situations like this, coaches want their players to make good, solid decisions on the floor.
Gilliard 76% from the free throw line coming into the tournament. We're not in the 1-on-1 situation yet. Only 2 free throws have been shot by Mountain State in this game. Out high, here is Jackson. At the fresh 35 after the foul. He works against Victor. A seam in the defense. Tried to dump it off. It was deflected back into his hands. The fight is on, and a timeout called by Concordia as Victor got possession.
And that's the advantage that Concordia has. They have timeouts left. You take timeouts when you're in trouble. And Concordia in big-time trouble right now with possession of the basketball and nowhere to go except to get tied up. The possession arrow would favor Concordia. You see Jackson, when he took that ball, he never did get it to the rim, going off that bad ankle.
Well, he nearly made a play. He broke the defense down just as he has all night long. And Mountain State leading by 1 with 46.6 left in this one. And again, this is a rematch of last year's championship game between Mountain State and Concordia. Concordia won that game in overtime, 88-84. They trail it by 1 right here, but they have the basketball.
And a relatively low-scoring game by these two teams' standards. Concordia averages in the mid-80s. Mountain State averages 96 points per outing.
So Concordia will have the basketball. They have Luster, Victor, Vanderlaan, Hall, and Growth on the floor.
The last time this game was tied was at 5-5 with 15 and a half left in the game. Concordia has trailed since that time.
More March Madness, this time at the NAIA level. Concordia with the basketball trailing by 1.
And 11 seconds differential between shot clock and game clock.
Rings out for Victor. Gilliard the rebound, and he is fouled. That is the 7th team foul. It's on Luster. That's his 4th personal. Gilliard will go to the line.
Concordia had a good shot, and they've done this consistently through the final 12 minutes of this half. Got a good look at the offensive end. Tough shooting luck for Chris Victor. Had that one online. And a big rebound for Gilliard right there. One thing that hurts Mountain State, they've got some players that don't shoot free throws very well. Adrian Jackson, their point guard, is 1. He's in there at 59%. So guys that they will want to handle the basketball would be Hall at 85%, Gilliard at 76%. The guy they don't want to handle the ball is Zach Moss. He's 57%, even though he hit 10 of 15 here last night.
And Gilliard, a great free throw shooter last season, 85%. This season, 76% coming into the tournament, but split in the tournament, he's only 5 out of 13. So Zane Gilliard, the senior, 3rd-team All-American, will go to the free throw line. The transfer from Spartanburg Methodist Junior College. And Concordia, you got to go all the way back to the first half. And man, did Mountain State really close out that first half strong. They went on a 16-3 run, and they led by 16 at halftime. Concordia's come all the way back here in the second half. Right now, though, it's Zane Gilliard at the free throw line, shooting 1-1.
So many times in games like this, it comes down to free throws down the stretch.
And this is only the 3rd attempt of the game for Mountain State from the line. And that was too smooth for Zane Gilliard. 4 3-pointers tonight in the game for Gilliard. 16 points in the game.
And if you're Concordia, a 3 would be nice, but take a good shot and get it in a hurry.
Victor working against Starks. Off to Grove, launches the 3, just off the front of the iron, rebound Starks, and quickly he's fouled with 11.2 left. It'll be a 1-and-1 situation for Eddie Starks of Mountain State. He missed his last 2 free throws, and he's a 58% free throw shooter on the season.
So you got to feel if you're Concordia, you fouled the right guy. But they've got to hope that they get a miss right here. It is getting late. You could be to your last possession where you didn't necessarily need a 3 the last time they touched it. They will need a 3 right here. Mountain State, you've got the 3-point lead. Hope you get the free throw right here to make it a 2-possession game. If you don't make the free throw, go back, play the defense. The one thing you got to make sure, stay away from the foul. You certainly don't want to foul a 3-point shooter. And there's a lot of conversation. You want to go ahead and take that foul, get a chance to shoot a 1-and-1 free throw, but you got to take it before they get in the act of shooting on that 3-point basket. Their next free throw, next foul will be a 1-and-1. So you may want to go ahead and foul sometime early in the possession before the shooter gets in the act of shooting. But this juncture right here.
So Eddie Starks to the line to shoot 1-and-1.
Biggest free throw of his career.
He'll have another one coming. 2-possession ball game as the Mountain State faithful and their bench ready to erupt over there. Misses the second.
Defensively flatten him out, force him to go sideline to sideline.
Here comes Victor, looking to get a shot off. It's a 3, missed. Moss the rebound, and it's a reversal in 2004. Mountain State is national champion. Well, it's a redo from a season ago. Same 2 teams in the title game, but this time it's Mountain State by 4. A season ago, it was Concordia winning by 4 in overtime, and I guess we could say split over the last 2 seasons. Concordia and Mountain State, a pretty evenly matched group.
Well, it was fun to watch here tonight. It was all Mountain State in the first 20 minutes. First half of the second half, actually, Mountain State held on to their lead, but Concordia stayed with their game plan, got after them, found their way to get their way back into the game, came up a little bit short of the end, but what a finish we had here tonight.
And we already have the all-tournament team. The Taylor most valuable player in the tournament, Zach Moss. Chris Victor of Concordia is the Charles Stevenson Hustle Award winner. And Gilliard and Hall are on the all-tournament team for Mountain State, along with Moss. Concordia has Nick Vanderlaan on the all-tournament team, and also Tanner Luster. And what a ball game we see tonight here in the national championship title game. Now, last those Concordia folks were the ones celebrating. They were national champions in 2003, but now this season it's Mountain State the winner in 2004. And we're going to get a word with Coach Bob Boland, the victors here for Mountain State tonight. Adrian Jackson looking on, coming back with that ankle injury. And first of all, Coach Boland, congratulations, you're national champions, and what a rematch between you teams from a season ago.
Well, that was a fantastic game, and I just thank God to have the opportunity to coach those 4 seniors.
We'll talk about this season and what you guys have gone through. It's been an outstanding season. You finished only losing 1 game on the season, and national champions after runner-up a a season ago?
We beat a terrific team tonight, and the game was just like last year's. Hard fought to the end, and I'm proud of these guys. I mean, we've worked hard. I'm sure Concordia has too, and this is just a moment that we'll never forget.
Coach, talk about going down the final few minutes of that ball game. You're out of timeouts. You've lost momentum in the game. What were your instructions to your team? What do you do offensively and defensively to try to hold on to that lead?
Well, AJ was out of the game, and Eddie Starks came in and hit that big foul shot at the end and just played well. Their strength just wore us down in the second half. I mean, they are so physical and so strong, and I kind of sensed that at halftime. We played as well as we could play the first half, and then their strength just wore us down, and we were just able to hang on.
How much of that is the grueling nature of this tournament, having to play so many games in 1 week span? Is it kind of natural? You guys have been through it before. It's kind of natural that the legs go late in the second half, or is that something that Concordia put on you today?
I think it was Concordia, because they're so physical and so strong. They're by far the strongest NAIA team I've ever seen. They look like muscle men, every one of them, and I thought they wore us down, but I'm just very pleased that we were able to hold on, and this is a great feeling, and I'm happy for Mountain State University.
Well, I know they're cheering back in Beckley and having a great time back there right now. Zach Moss, talk about what he's meant as a senior. You talked about your seniors and what they've meant to you, but what a tournament he had, averaging almost 30 points a game in the tournament.
Did he get NAIA Player of the Year?
Absolutely got NAIA Player of the Year.
Did he? Okay. He's, in my opinion, best player in the tournament, and I'm just very proud of him. Can I watch my team get these awards, please?
Absolutely, Coach.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the national championship. That's head coach Bob Boland of Mountain State, and they are the national champs in 2004. They finish 37-1, and congratulations to Concordia University from Irvine, California. They finished the season 33-5. They nearly defend their national title from a season ago, but they finished runner-up. And what a season for Coach Ken Ammon and the Concordia University Eagles. And a great ball game here tonight after they were down by 16 at halftime and came all the way back before Mountain State wins it by 4.
Well, Neil, it's one of those times where it hurts a lot, but the farther you get away from it, this is a wonderful experience for these guys. They came a long way. They came as far as you can come without winning it, and the team that does win it has to go through Concordia. So hats off to those guys as well. Terrific effort.
No, great job by Curtis Lorenz and John Dennison out in the truck. Fun working with you, Split, as always. For the most important up-to-date scores, news, highlights, and analysis, go to collegesports.com. This has been a presentation of CSTV College Sports Television, #1 in college sports. For Paul Splittorff, this is Neil Harwell. We'll see you next time on CSTV. Good night, everybody.
Drew Powell joins us live now with more. Drew?
Well, the MSU Cougars met Concordia College in a rematch of last year's NAIA Division I National Championship game. While the Cougars players were engaged in the biggest game of their lives, students and fans on campus in Beckley cheered for their classmates. Though the game was played in Kansas City, Missouri, hundreds of MSU students and local supporters of the program packed the Cougar Den on campus to watch the NAIA title game between the Cougars and the Eagles.
Well, the turnout tonight has been fantastic. We have a group of fans of all ages out to watch the game. Everybody's cheering the team on. We're really excited about how the game's going.
It took a while. Personally, I think we made it direct TV, but we finally got it. We got the word out, got it on the radio. It was a great turnout.
As the game progressed, the crowd at the Cougar Den watched the game intensely on a big screen TV. Unable to make the trip to the Show Me State, students decided to show their support by cheering loudly from Beckley.
Well, we try to catch as many games as we can here in Beckley, and, you know, how many often do your home team get to be on a national championship? So we just came out to watch the game and have fun.
MSU wins as the Cougars down the Concordia Eagles, thus earning their first national championship in NAIA basketball.
Oh, yeah. You know, we want to make Beckley City champions. Last week, you know, Woodrow brought it home, and we just hoping that Mountain State do the same. It's been a great season. Bob Boland has done a beautiful job.
Well, the crowd at the Cougar Den cheered so loud tonight. My hearing is just now returning. Congratulations to the Mountain State University Cougars for winning 74-70. Zach Moss led the way with 22 points. Zane Gilliard with 16. The team returns to Beckley tomorrow, and they're going to arrive at 4 p.m. at the Charleston's Yeager Airport. A celebration is planned for tomorrow at the Raleigh County Armory around 6 p.m.
A lot of excitement. All right, thanks so much, Drew.
Championship, Concordia against Mountain State. Zach Moss. Huge dunk for Mountain State. I mean, look at this. Great pass to Moss with a big finish. Mountain State wins the title. Congrats.
Welcome them back in style. Our Drew Powell was there for the celebration, and he joins us now live with more. Drew?
Thanks, Gina. Hundreds of fans converged in Beckley for another victory celebration. The Mountain State Cougars were greeted with quite a reception at the Raleigh County Armory. It all began in the fall when 11 members of an NAIA college basketball team worked together to accomplish one goal: win a national championship. The Mountain State University Cougars completed the task with a 74-70 win over Concordia College to capture a national title, and were greeted with open arms upon returning to Beckley.
For people to do this, it's great to honor us today, and I tell you, it makes these kids that's coming back next year, it's going to make them work that much harder to try to do it again. I mean, it's a great turnout. It's a big dream. I'm so happy for our whole team and the whole city of Beckley. Just bringing this title home, it feels so good. I'm still shocked. But it's a great feeling, real great feeling.
The coaching staff credits the players' hard work and determination to succeed and not settle for anything else, proving champions are made, not born.
We came together as a family out there in Kansas City. That's all we had. We was all we had out there. And we just came together and played hard and prayed, and we won every game. Yeah, it paid off. Day in, day out. I remember times we had practice twice a day, man. It was for the better. We won the championship, but it was a great experience. You know, I missed out last year on my team from last year, but I got to make it up this year, and we took it all.
Fans packed the Raleigh County Armory to pay tribute to a group of young men who helped prove why, once again, Beckley is the city of champions.
You know, being from Beckley, the signs were actually up when I was growing up, city of champions, and I'm glad people are now, you know, talking about Beckley again, the city of champions. Sure, it brings a great smile on my face. Yeah, Beckley is the city of champions. Although I couldn't win the championship as a player here 2 years ago, it feels real good to win as an assistant coach, my first year coach.
Very special event for the city and the Cougars and for Coach Bolin for a much-deserved victory.
And the title marks the first national championship won by the Mountain State University Cougars. Congratulations to MSU, who overcame adversity before the season started and worked their way to the history books.
A lot of excited players and a lot of excited fans. All right, thanks a lot, Drew. Well, President Bush prepares to make a...
Well, senior Zach Moss again leading the way for MSU last night. 22 points and earning tournament MVP honors. 2 of those 22 coming on a thunderous first-half dunk. A dunk so nice, sports fans throughout the nation got a chance to see it. His dunk earning a spot on ESPN SportsCenter's top 10 plays last night. Let's check it out and then hear what Zach has to say about some national exposure.
Number 4 NAIA championship, Concordia against Mountain State. Zach Moss. Huge dunk for Mountain State. I mean, look at this. Great pass to Moss with a big finish. Mountain State wins the title. Congrats.
I know until they called me and told me last night. I seen it this morning because I went straight to bed last night. I was kind of tired. It's like a dream. I always dreamed to be on TV. It came true to me last night. Everybody in the world see me on TV last night.
Now, when you are the top team in NAIA hoops, many individual awards probably will come your way, and that's the case with the Cougs. Zach Moss was the MVP, as I said, of the tournament and of the entire season, and MSU head coach Bob Bolin for the job he and his coaching staff has done on the sidelines. He's the 2004 National Coach of the Year. Bolin, just the 3rd coach from the Mountain State to ever earn this honor. Of course, Bolin would like to share the award with his staff at the rally tonight, saying he'd like to saw that award into parts if he could. Well, how bad is the latest injury to
this team that won 37 games, lost just a game, and won the national title after losing it a year ago in the finals? Zach Moss, of course, Player of the Year, showing the hardware off. Everybody excited about this championship team, and Moss and Coach Bob Bolin still find it hard to believe they made it through.
It took a beating. It was challenging. We went out there last year and had success, but this year we went out there and won the whole thing. We should have won the whole thing last year. but it was tough for us.
Oh, I think coming so close last year, I think that pushed us, and we were just able to make plays at the right time. You know, there were so many close games in Kansas City, and we were able to overcome all the obstacles.
And finally, Cincinnati's opening day is actually